Hello and welcome everyone to an unexpectedly exciting video for you today. So Risk of Rain 2, which is natively a flat screen game, has just received a VR mod which allows you to play the game with motion controls and with head tracking in VR. And this mod works surprisingly well. I had no idea that this was going to be coming to VR, no idea that it was being worked on. Risk of Rain 2 is actually one of my favorite flat screen games. I spent hundreds of hours in this game playing with friends and grinding through the game. For those of you who don't know what Risk of Rain 2 is, Risk of Rain is a game where you start on a planet and you have all of your abilities, but you're pretty weak overall. As you level up in the game, you'll get a bit stronger and you'll get some cash that you can spend on chests to buy items that will kind of increase the power of your character, and you kind of see how long you can last. They did add a actual ending for the game, so you can actually beat it, but there is also like an endless mode as well, where you can just constantly play and constantly get stronger with your character and just see how long you can last. Seeing support for a game like this come to VR is amazing. The only other roguelite VR game that I can think of right now is Until You Fall, which is a sword fighting game, and it is a really good game, but I've been waiting for some game that kind of has this endless mode where you can just constantly get stronger and stronger and kind of go from there. Now this is a native PC game, so everything is made for flat screen. So every once in a while you are going to run into a little hiccup or a weird little glitch, but overall the creator, DrBiBop, has done an amazing job with this mod, and he has a Discord server. I'm going to go ahead and link that in the description for you guys. And I wanted to go ahead in this video and explain how to set up the mod, as well as show you guys some gameplay in the background of me playing a bunch of the different characters and just talking about, my experience with the game and how fun it was to play. But let's go ahead and get right into the setup for you all. Alright, so first thing for you guys, go ahead and click the link in the description of this video for the actual mod page. So this should be the Thunderstore.io package DrBiBop VR mod, and this will take you to this page, which you have the ability to see the mod, and you can install it with the mod manager, or you can do a manual download. So if you do the manual download, it will download a zip to your computer that has a README in it, where you can go through all of the instructions to do this kind of the manual way. I personally did the mod manager, which I did through the Thunderstore. So at the top of this page here, I installed the Thunderstore mod manager. It takes you to this page if you click on that link, and I hit download here. And then after I installed it, it's just a matter of clicking this install with mod manager, and you get this little pop-up at the top. I'm using Google Chrome, by the way. And I opened the Thunderstore mod manager, which opened on my other screen right now. So give me just a moment. It'll launch the program for you, it'll warm up, and get the mod list from the store. And this does work with the Risk of Rain 2 mod manager as well. It's going to do the same thing. Now, in the Thunderstore one, you select a profile. If nothing's showing up here, you create new, and you make a profile. And then once you're here, you're basically good to go. So on this page, you're going to see that this mod requires the following mods to function. So you're going to want to go to each of these pages and also click the install mod manager here, and do that with the other one, the Hook Gen Patcher, as well as the Bepenix pack. So you're going to want to go ahead and do that with both of those. And then once you have those, they all should show up in this installed mods here. If you're not seeing them, you can try to hit that download link again, or that install with mod manager again, or you can actually search for them up here. As you can see, I have a couple of additional mods already installed on my end, which consist of the auto sprint. I use the Valve Index controllers, and the thumbsticks on them are not necessarily the strongest things I'd advise. So I got the auto sprint, so I don't actually have to click in the stick every time I want to sprint. And I got the Artificer toggle hover, which makes it so I can just press a button to hover rather than hold the button the whole time. And after that, guys, you're basically done. You can go ahead and hit the start modded button at the top. Personally, I like to open Steam beforehand, and I like to start Steam VR. So I go ahead and go to my Steam, I hit Steam VR launch. And then once Steam VR is launched, I turn on my controllers and I hit the start modded. You'll get this pop-up after you hit that says it's launching via Steam. You should get this black pop-up window that kind of describes what it's doing and what it's running in the back end, kind of the mod process to get that running. The screen will go black for a while, so don't freak out. And then after that, it should load. The first sign will be the bottom right there. You'll see that little loading bar, and it should pop up in VR. I'm not going to kind of pop into it too much and do too much with it here, but I will move over to my VR headset and move it around so you guys can see it's working. And as you can see, I'm basically shifting the screen around. This is the opening cutscene of the game, which is rendered in VR, so you can actually kind of like move around the ship and do all sorts of cool things there. But other than that, that's basically the entire setup for just how to get everything running in the game. You will probably need to mess with the controls a little bit to get the controls working specific to your controllers, and go from there. A couple of things I've noticed. You do need to make sure you are selected, or you do need to make sure you are selected on this window for the controllers to be picked up. So if you are like streaming on your other monitor, if you're doing else, or if you're talking in Discord or whatever on your other monitor, just make sure that if you go back to your game, you are actually clicking on this window and kind of going from there, because the game isn't going to register your controllers unless you are clicked on this window. So, but other than that, you're basically set up to play the game. Alright, a couple of things that might help you guys out if you are streaming or you want to get into the extra configuration of the game if some things aren't working. You can go to this config editor right here. It'll let you kind of see all of the mods. You click on the VR mod here, and you can edit the configuration here, which will show you the controls, the HUD, the VR settings. So scrolling through here, snap turn or smooth turn, that's basically what this does and lets you change. The angle if you are using snap turn. If you do change this to smooth turn, just be aware that you actually need to change the controller sensitivity and the actual settings of the game to turn faster. This angle turn won't actually increase that at all, or how fast you turn in game. So just make sure you actually use the in-game settings to change how fast the smooth camera allows you to turn. And again, that's in the controller settings, not in the mouse settings. Locked camera pitch, I haven't messed around with that. Use motion controls, you can turn this on or off. Left-handed, if you are left-handed, you can actually turn this on to true. Use controller direction for movement. Some games have head-oriented movement and some games have controller-oriented movement. You can turn this false or true depending on what you guys like to do. HUD settings, so these are what I found worked for my setup for my stream. So just be aware that I am using the Valve Index, and the resolution, the native resolution of my monitor and the resolution of the game is set to 1920 by 1080. But these are the settings that I use to actually get the HUD in a not annoying place. So if you try to use these with the default value, the HUD will kind of be small or shrank in the middle of your screen. But the UI scale, I use 1. HUD width, I use 1400. HUD height, I use 1300. Bottom anchor is 0.95, top anchor is 1, left anchor is 1, and right anchor is 1. And again, this is just to make sure the HUD is in a good spot for streaming. So when you have the game showing up on your main monitor, the HUD isn't just like bunched up in the middle of the screen. It actually, has part of it at the top, part of it at the bottom, and looks moderately okay. And then the last ones, VR settings. If you're using Oculus, if you don't like Steam VR and you want to start it in Oculus mode, you can change this to true. Whether or not you want to play the game in first person, I think you should be able to run the game in third person and still be able to play. I'm not sure how that would work in VR, or what this necessarily does, but I'll need to play around with this one to see if you can play it in third person in VR, because sometimes third person VR games actually aren't too bad, believe it or not. However, if you are using motion controls still, then that would be a bit confusing. And then comfort, vignette, that is what kind of usually what this does in games is it adds kind of like a black border around the side so you don't get as motion sick when you're playing. I've played about 3,000 hours of VR, so I don't really get motion sick anymore, so I have that set to false. And then after you change all these settings, make sure you hit save at the top, guys, and that should be all of the settings that you need to alter for the game itself. Alright, and the last thing I wanted to go over for you guys, it is actually back on this VR mod page. I skipped this earlier. It's kind of a last step, so once you have everything else working and you want to make sure you got your controllers right, you can scroll down and look at the README at the bottom of here 2. This has another link to the Discord server if you guys haven't joined yet. I definitely recommend checking it out. It has, it suggests using Risk of Rain 2 mod manager instead of the Thunderstore one. You guys can use whichever one you want. I use Thunderstore and that one seems to work fine. And then a little bit farther down here, you see the default controls based on the controllers you are using. If you are using the index knuckles, which I am, or the Reverb G2 controllers, go down here and you can actually download bindings for these. And this has instructions on how to get those added as well. So you just got to create a imports folder in one of your menus and you put it in there. And there's even a little video here that shows you how to get everything else set up. There's some frequently asked questions down here about the mod, as well as a changelog of everything they have been adding so far. And other than that, I assume this changelog will be changing if there are more available versions in the future, but you should be set up to play. So from there, if you guys have any questions about the setup, definitely leave a comment down below and I will do what I can to try to help you out with that. And if you want someone who probably knows it a lot better than me, you can actually, in the Discord server, there's a help channel where you can actually get help directly from DrBiBop, who will probably be able to provide more accurate information than I will. But I'll do everything I can for you guys here on this video. And that's all I have for the setup for you guys. Hopefully this video helped you guys get the game set up and working. Again, if it did not, or if you are having any issues getting set up, leave a comment down below and I'll do what I can to help out. This video is current as of May 22nd, so just a day after it was actually released. And there will be bugs that will probably come up just like any game throughout the lifespan. So just take note that this is when the video went live, but we'll do what we can to help you guys get this up and running. And other than that, I hope you guys have a chance to try out this mod. I definitely recommend, if you are a big Risk of Rain fan, or even if you're interested in a roguelike game and have been waiting for one for VR, definitely pick this one up and give it a try because it's truly amazing. All of the links used in this video will be in the description, as well as the Discord server, so definitely make sure you check those out if you guys need just written examples of where to go, or if you want to check out the Discord server and ask for direct help there. And I hope you guys have a great time playing Risk of Rain in VR. Oh no! My health bar. I gotta say, the revolver in VR is one of the most satisfying things I've ever used in any VR game ever. Hey everyone, thanks for watching. If you're interested in more VR and Pop 1 content, then hit the subscribe button. I'll be streaming live on Twitch for a couple hours after this video goes up. Catch you guys there.